Welcome. A huge day today with results set to be declared for assembly elections in Tripura, Meghalaya and Nagaland. An intense battle in the three states, the beginning of a process that sees as many as 6 state elections this year over and above what we are seeing today. Meghalaya and Nagaland voted on the 27th. Tripura voted on the 16th of this month, all with a high voter turnout. The BJP keen to establish itself in the northeast, replacing the Congress as the dominant party. They've clearly pulled out all the stops in this campaign, but the exit polls, well, they tell an interesting story. They've predicted a clear victory to the ruling NDTV BJP alliance in Nagaland. They appear to have an edge in Tripura, but it's difficult. It could be quite close in Tripura, and there are some important variables, while a hung verdict is one that's expected in Meghalaya.
Well, in the last 50 years, Meghalaya has never given a single party a complete majority, Vishnu, and it's going to be interesting because exit polls, and as we have seen, often cannot or can go wrong. So we'll know now the real poll result is going to be out. It is going to be an interesting election, and also it's going to set the ball rolling for the road to 2024. These 3 state elections are also going to be an indicator of how 2024 is being set up, the big battle where Prime Minister Narendra Modi would be seeking a third term.
Well, one interesting development, and we'll be talking about this and many more. The Meghalaya Chief Minister and the NPP, or the National People's Party leader Conrad Sangma, met the Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa on Tuesday in a sign that the former partners, remember they were alliance partners, decided to contest the election separately. But why this meeting? It's a sign that the former partners in the ruling alliance could look at the possibility of coming together if there was a split verdict, because there is a sense that that could be a possibility. There will be a battle of kingmakers, it is felt, in a couple of states. The exact dynamics we'll find out in the hours ahead. By about 1 p.m, I think we know, or 12 o'clock?
12 o'clock. 60 seats, small assemblies, so 60 seats by 12 o'clock. There should be a clear picture for us. But will the outcome of these polls, if the 3 northeastern states have a strong bearing on the prospects of the national parties, that is also something that we'll be talking about throughout the day, ladies and gentlemen. Let's very quickly go across and give you a sense of how these states are now preparing for the results. There is a lot of buzz. Of course, the people in these states and across the country waiting as those EVMs would be opening up, and the counting will begin in just about 25 minutes from now. We are now being joined by our colleagues. Vedant is in Nagaland. He's in Kohima. We are being joined by Ratnadeep, who is right now reporting from Agartala. Quite an interesting battle there as well. And Saurabh is joining us from Shillong to give us a perspective on what's happening in Meghalaya.
All right, let's go straight across to Ratnadeep first. Ratnadeep, it is an intense election process which we've seen in Tripura. The BJP clearly says, look, there's no two ways about it. We are forming the government. We'll get the numbers on our own. But there are certain dark horses over here, the Tripura Mota. Let's talk a little bit about that. And their alliance with the IPFT, or the Indigenous Peoples Front of Tripura. That is important, but the IPFT isn't quite the force that it was in the past. What does that mean?
That's right. In fact, we are coming to you from one of the biggest counting centers in the state. There are 21 counting centers, and we are at Agartala, the state capital, and behind me is the Umakanta Academy Counting Center, which is the biggest, where EVMs would be opened up for 14 constituencies. Talking about this intense election that Tripura saw, till this point of time, till this election, Tripura has always seen a straight fight between the ruling party and the main opposition. Even in 2018, it was a straight fight between the left front and the BJP. BJP really, cashed upon the anti-incumbency of 25 years of the left rule in 2018, and the entire Congress vote bank, with their rank and file, with their supporters, actually shifted to the BJP. But this election was very different, because here you had at least a tri-corner fight. If we leave out Trinamool Congress as a marginal player, then there was a tri-corner fight between the BJP, IPFT alliance, the left and the Congress seat sharing, which was also a little different than what they tried in Bengal. In fact, the impact, many believe, at ground zero will be much different than what happened in Bengal, because in Bengal they could not open their account. But here, although pollsters have not given any seats to the Congress, when we spoke last evening even to locals, they are saying that Congress will open its account. Now, the biggest factor of this election, and that the factor which turned this Tripura election absolutely different, was the Tripura Matha party of Pradyut Manika Debbarman, the head of the Tripura's royal family, former Congress chief of Tripura. Now, his party contesting in 42 seats, but among them 20 seats are the tribal reserve seat, where his party actually is very strong. And then there are 7 to 8 seats which are not reserved, but the tribal voters in those seats actually decide who is going to win. So his party effectively has impact in 26 to 27 seats. So Tripura Matha party might become the X factor, the kingmaker, if the results today that will come out in a couple of hours from now actually don't go as what has been predicted in most of the exit polls. We did speak a few hours back with Tripura's Chief Minister Dr. Manik Saha. We'll play out that interview in a while, and he categorically in that exclusive interview to NDTV said that there would be a tsunami and the number of seats would be far more than what the exit polls have kind of predicted. But we also
Ratnadeep, just hang on a second. Let's keep the ball rolling over here. We'll come back to Tripura in just a quick second. I want to go across to Vedant as well. Vedant joining us from Kohima. The BJP has already started, right? It's not, they've already got a seat uncontested.
It's basically counting on 59 seats.
Yeah, 59
it's basically
seats.
Counting on 59 seats, because one seat has already been won by the BJP unopposed. There is no candidate. And Vishnu, interestingly, Nagaland is the only assembly in the country which doesn't have an opposition at this moment.
Right.
So all the MLAs in the Nagaland assembly, somewhere or the other, are supporting the ruling alliance. But Vedant, at least this is the only state among the three where, if you go by the exit polls, there is a consensus that it is a clear edge, or possibly, a bigger margin of victory this time it has been predicted for the BJP-NDTV alliance.
Well, absolutely, Ankit. Let me very quickly show you pictures of the counting center where I come to you from. This is the largest counting center in Nagaland. But as you rightly pointed out, the BJP-NDTV alliance looks really strong as far as Nagaland is concerned. Because remember, as far as this state is concerned, the regional parties always are, always seek the support of the party at the center. In fact, we spoke to the Chief Minister, we spoke to a lot of people in the NDTV, and for them, it's very important actually to get the support of the center. That's why, the Congress was here when the Congress was in power at the center as well. So that is a factor that we need to keep in mind. As far as the opposition is concerned, remember the Naga People's Front, last time it emerged as the strongest party with over 26 seats, but 12 legislators from the Naga People's Front actually defected to the NDTV. But this time the Naga People's Front has fielded candidates on 22 seats. And even if it manages to win over 20 seats, it won't be able to give give enough competition to the BJP-NDTV alliance, which is why, the numbers are in favor of the BJP alliance. In fact, what we've also being told that the BJP has, we are expecting huge celebrations by the BJP in the evening as well. In fact, the BJP President Temjim, who is of course a viral figure in Nagaland, he is also expected to fly down to Dimapur, which is where the BJP has planned celebrations as well. And as you rightly pointed out, as far as the Congress is concerned, the Congress failed to open its account last time. But this time, of course, all Congress leaders, including Shashi Tharoor and Mallikarjun Kharge, campaigned in Nagaland. But of course, the BJP's campaign was a high voltage one, with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Amit Shah, Kiran Rijiju, Himanta Biswa Sarma, all on the campaign trail.
That,
so of course,
that more or less, Vishnu, has become like the trademark as far as the Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned. Whether it's an MCD election, the local body election, or an assembly election, the BJP goes all out, and that's what they are hoping for, banking on the presence and the way the Prime Minister's Northeast policy is concerned. The Prime Minister has possibly spent more time in the Northeastern states than any other Prime Minister, at least as far as I can remember in the recent history. But it is going to be very, very interesting in Nagaland also, and that, few baselines and the trends that will emerge will be the talking point. Because remember, Nagaland and where Saurabh is standing right now, both these states are Christian majority states. BJP, which across the country somewhere is being seen as a party of the Hindu majority, that party winning in these states or getting a good result does have, some sort of a a poster that the BJP does take around in 2024. All right.
Let me just come to you very quickly. If you take a look at Meghalaya and, where you're reporting from, the National People's Party and Conrad Sangma obviously has a very strong stake over there. And there is a sense that along with the BJP at some stage, they might ultimately need to come together. Why? Because they've been in a coalition in the past. For these elections, they fought separately. But given what we've seen in the exit polls and the buzz around you, is there a sense that that's actually quite serious? Because Conrad Sangma has met Himanta Biswa Sarma, I think it was on Tuesday evening. So what does that indicate?
Well, what that clearly indicates is that post-poll alliances are something that's not, surprising in Meghalaya. The exit polls don't seem to give a clear majority to any particular group, but the fact that the NPP, led by Conrad Sangma, and the BJP, along with other parties, were in an alliance earlier and fought the polls separately, indicates that if the situation arises, they could always come together like they did in the past and form a government. Now, the clearest indicator of that is this meeting that you referred to between Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma and the Meghalaya Chief Minister Conrad Sangma. So in that context, perhaps we can say the contours of a post-poll alliance are already being put in place in Meghalaya, given what the exit polls have predicted, which is no clear majority to any group. There is also the Meghalaya TMC, which hopes to emerge as a significant group. At least that's what their surveys are telling them internally. Exit polls also giving them a decent number of seats in that 60-seat assembly. So post-poll alliances are going to be very, very interesting in Meghalaya, and that's what we are watching out for, because as soon as the results coming in, just a short while from now, the counting is about to begin at 8 o'clock at this counting center in Shillong, the capital of Meghalaya. Meghalaya is a state that's known worldwide for its music, but today, of course, a lot of focus on the political music, the political games that will be played once these election results are announced.